Okay, back to carving the neck. First I'll get this heel in shape with my microplane, a little rasp. Lovely, so I'm just going for an arc right there. And I want to keep my good center line, so I'm gonna have to remember to take a little bit more on this side off later. Now we'll start to get our round shape. This hemlock is actually going to make a good stiff neck. I can already feel it's harder to carve than I thought it would be. Okay, so I'm just going for the general rough rounded shape for right here, and I'll do the same up here, and then we'll connect the two to do the bulk of the carving. Okay, sorry we got cut off there, total amateur hour. Anyway, well, let's get back at it. I'm gonna grab one of my favorite tools now, draw knife, and we're gonna just connect these two rounded areas to get most of our neck. Now, the draw knife is really fun, but you know, if you're not careful, you'll dig too deep. So I just use it to gently knock off the sharpest corners here and get the main roughed out stuff going, because it has a tendency to split if you're not careful, or if you go the wrong grain direction. So notice I flipped to give it a few pushes this way instead of pulls. There's kind of a knot right here, so I'm going to be careful trying to work around that. So I'm going to switch to my spoke shape now. This is a similar idea, it's just it's got a guard on it, so the depth is set. You can't go too deep. So you can see that, oh, that's really washed out. Let's turn that That's really dark. I'm having a hard time today. Anyway, it's quite a bit more round now. We're not fully there yet. We'll just keep going with the spoke shave here and take some more off. I have used a spoke shave with a curved head before, but I find that you know, the straight one works better, you know, because actually a curve can be made up of a bunch of intersecting straight lines. Oh, come on. Okay, that's it for now. It's gonna get, it is pretty round and smooth, looking good. Now we'll flip this here. I'm gonna trace a circle, dull pencil, trace a circle right here in order to do some carving with the chisel. Now we'll keep going with the chisel. Get this little curve roughly carved, and then try to follow the fretboard a little bit, being careful that you don't chip out and go the wrong. You have to switch direction. Got to be careful not to dull the chisel on the frets too. Clean up the saw cut from before. Extra hard because I've got the brass fret dots there. I don't want to hit a piece of brass with my chisel. Okay, and then we can do a little bit right here. That direction doesn't want to cooperate. I'll probably hit that with my curved rasp later. Okay, let's try right here. Turn it around to get this edge in here. Okay, so a couple things to fix. This is a little wider than I want it. When I used my saw, I was outside of the line. So I'm gonna clean up this side, but also just take some of the thickness out with the microplane. Much better, and then I'm gonna do the same on this side. Better, but I'm going to look at it from above now so I can make sure it's nice and straight. Closer. Now, this area is real rough still. The grain direction is kind of hard to get in there with the chisel. We still have this proud piece of walnut from the center strip, so I'm going to use a rounded microplane aggressive in there. Much closer. Don't really like this transition yet. Better. So, I mean, I'm gonna hit 80 grit next on the orbital sander, so this doesn't have to be super smooth, but this part is kind of end grain, and so the orbital sander doesn't do as good a job there, so try to hit it with this rounded file, clean up this transition, and then a finer file. Much improved. And I'm going to do the same in this area, and then we'll be ready to go to the orbital sander. Okay, so one more thing to make it a little crisper. The thing about the microplane is if you're not careful, it'll round over things that you want to be straight. So this is a little not as crisp as I want it. Much better. And next will be a lot of sanding. Cheers.